Today we're going to be looking at an insanely profitable trading strategy that only the pros know, so let's get straight to it. Hey traders, I hope you're going extremely well. My name is David and welcome to my channel where I go through trading strategies that I find on YouTube and on the web, and then I use code to debunk the bad ones and find the good ones. Today we're going to be looking at a trading strategy from the trading channel Trade Prime. Trade Prime claims that this is an insanely profitable scalping strategy that only the pros would know. So as part of a new series which I'm going to be calling the Mythbusters, that's no good, we need to do it properly. Let's go. The Mythbusters. We're going to be debunking bad strategies and hopefully finding some really good ones going through all of these trading strategies. So I'm not promising this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm actually trying to do the opposite and find the trading strategies and finding the actual real results by actually correctly backtesting them using code. So I guess the best thing is to get over to my computer, have a look, and we'll code this trading strategy so that we can find the results to find out if it really is any good. Okay, let's go. Right, here we are on my computer, as always, giving credit where credit is due. This is the trading strategy YouTube channel called Trade Prime, and they've said that this is an insanely profitable scalping strategy. So I'm going to go through the actual indicators one by one, go through the trading strategy, like I said, and then I'll code it so that we can do the Mythbusters. Off we go. I had to do that again, sorry. Right, over to TradingView. Right, okay, here we are on TradingView. I already have a couple of indicators added to TradingView. First thing we're going to add is the Bollinger Bands. So if we go up to indicators up here and type Bollinger Bands, and you can find a couple here in the technicals. We have Bollinger Bands directed, and also the strategies. We're looking for this one here, which will put these blue lines and this orange line on the screen. Then what we have is the MACD. Same goes, we go up to indicators and we type MACD. I have a lot of MACD indicators because I've written lots of MACD scripts, but we're looking for this one here, the moving average convergence divergent. So what we're looking for is pretty simple. The MACD is this indicator below. The Bollinger Bands are these ones here, if you didn't know that. What happens is we have a mean line. So the mean line is this orange line. So that's the mean which we expect price to move back and test. And then we have two blue lines, which are standard deviations of the price. We're currently at a standard deviation of 2. There's some quite good infographics out there which show you the probabilities of moving outside of a standard deviation of 2, 3, and so on. But I'm not going to go into that now. We're just going to go into this simple trading strategy. Okay, so the rules of this trading strategy are pretty simple. We're going to be using the MACD histogram and not the line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the cog here and remove the MACD line and the signal line. That will leave us only with the histogram. I will also be backtesting the other ones as well, just for the sake of actually backtesting them. So when price is in a down movement, a bearish movement, we're looking for a reversal. So we're waiting for the MACD to come down and break outside of this lower line here, just like this area here. And then we're waiting for a bearish divergence. Now bearish divergence is when price is coming down and inside of the MACD we're actually making higher lows. So we're creating a higher low inside of this red area. So obviously when we're in longs, we're looking for to be in the red zone, and we're looking for these lows to be getting lower. So technically what's happening here is we're continuing to go down, but sellers are actually burning out and have no longer the same power as they did before. So we're looking for divergences in that. Now this is a scalping strategy, so we could be on the 5 minute, the 15 minute. It wasn't actually specified. I will be testing on both. So this would be a long position. We'd actually get in here and our idea is to put our stop loss on the low, so on the local low just here, which will be this low here. And then we're looking to aim for, well, there isn't really a aim. We're actually waiting to aim for this orange line here. I know what's going to kind of happen here in this kind of trading strategy, because this line is quite dynamic and we're going to have a lot of very small bad risk to reward situations. So I'm going to also code in their percentages averages, ATR lines and things like that to try and find alternatives to get a better setup for us. Okay, for a bearish divergence, we're going to be looking for price to break above this Bollinger Band just like this, and inside of our MACD we're looking for to be making lower highs, and we're looking to be making higher highs, which we are in price. So price is moving up, making higher highs. We're looking for the MACD to make lower highs just like that, which is absolutely perfect. So this would have made a great entry. We're waiting for the MACD to come back into the Bollinger Bands, and we'll have our entry around here. We're going to set our stop loss here at the very high, and then we're going to be setting our take profits to the orange band. Like I said, it's dynamic, so it sometimes might make not great risk to reward. For instance, this one is a 0.9 risk to reward, which isn't great considering you're probably getting a little bit lower. So yeah, so it's not great as far as I'm concerned. It'd be better probably to aim for a risk to reward of 1 or 1.5, and then take or move maybe your stop loss to break even, or as you're coming down or something like that. Maybe as you come past this orange line, maybe move the stop loss to break even at that point. Maybe a better solution, but that's only my opinion. What I'm going to do now is go away and code this so we can backtest, and then I'll add some other options in there to try and get better settings. Okay, let's go.
Come on, David, and once again he's going to code a new strategy. He'll be back in just 5 minutes. Come on, David, show us what you got.
Okay, here I am on my screen. As you can see, I have actually coded this. You now have an A and a B, which is the points where we're actually breaking the Bollinger Bands, and then we have our divergence by this red line here. There's lots of points where it goes through, as you can see on the green line, which are potential entries, but the reason that there isn't any entry there or ABC line is because there is no divergent. So inside the code, as you can see, let's go through the code very quickly. I won't spend too long on here. I've created arrays which have managed to cache the results for us in a temporary database, kind of in a way, I guess, if you will. I've also added things like the MACD line, the strict RSI, the RSI, the MACD line instead of the histogram, and also wave trend. The wave trend is the wave trend that a lot of people have seen on Market Cypher and things like that. So they have great possibilities with divergences, so I've added them as well. Like I said, I've added that to an array. Then I've got a function that I created myself, which helps me to find the highs and lows. The reason I use that is it helps me to get the bar index and things like that. So I went through that very quickly. If you'd like to see some more of the code, I'll quite happily share that inside of Discord. Right, so let's have a look at the results of the backtesting. As you can see, we have got the perfect entries here. We have our lower highs here, our higher highs here, and they are being marked by, well, that was one of the ones that I showed in a demo, the lower highs inside of the MACD. So if I put up my trading strategy, as you can see, the results are not great in the slightest, but that is why I did call this the debunk, or the myth buster series. So let me close this so we can zoom in a little bit. On the settings, I have literally not changed anything. I believe, if I'm right, I've added pyramiding so that we can take absolutely all of the entries. If I remove pyramiding, you'll be able to see the entries on the actual screen, but you'll see that we'll have a considerably less number of trades normally. Yeah, not considerably less, but a decent less number of trades. As you can see, we have I have also added a close on reverse trades, but that makes this even worse. So what I've done is I've added inside the custom, we have the stop loss set to this low here, and if I go continue down, you'll be able to see that you also have the possibility of adding the RSI. Currently I'm on the RSI. Let's put it on back to the MACD histogram. As I said, I've added the RSI strict. That means that it's in the oversold and overbought zones. the MACD line, and also the wave trend, which I believe gives really good divergences. I've added an option for don't use the zero, which means that we're only looking for divergences that are below the zero if we're looking for longs, and above the zero if we're looking for short. You have all the information for the MACD, the RSI, etc. here. I've also added a buffer for the stop loss. The reason being was I've found that a couple of the trades really were close to getting stopped out. But I guess that kind of is cheating, so I've removed that just for the backtest results. It's there as an option if you want to give it a go. Okay, so let's go through the results very quickly. As I said, I'm on BTC USDT on Bybit at the moment. I have done a bit of optimization, but I've got to be honest with you, I haven't been able to find extremely good results. The net profit is minus 34%, so it's awful. We have 365 trades, which is a good number of trades, so it does mean that there is possibilities to optimize it and make it better. Maybe finding different ways of moving out some of these trades, or not actually entering some of these trades. We have a 45.75% net profit. Let's go back over here. As you can see, we have 198 lost trades. We have 167 winning trades. Yeah, I don't really, there's max wins in a rows with 12, max losses were 10. So for me, it's not a trading strategy that I would actually trade in the current state that it is at the moment. If we go through things like adding maybe a volume indicator, or what could we add? I've tried adding things like the ADX and things like that, and it doesn't really seem to give me much better results. It gave it worse results, as a matter of fact, for that one. So it's obviously removing the wrong ones. If I go to the flat index, flat market here, that seems to give the same sort of results. Let's have a look very quickly. Giving a little bit better results. The other thing that I tend to do is I'll go through and use the ATR instead for the stop loss. That sometimes gives us a better setup. Gave it a worse setup. So yeah, really, honestly, I don't believe this is a fantastic trading strategy as it is. It does give quite a good a pool of trades, which means that there's a lot of opportunities, which technically means that we could actually, like I said, try and find a better way of trading it. Moving it so that it actually exited on the orange line gave a win rate of around 21%, which was even worse. If I go to the 5 minute, let's have a look at the 5 minute and maybe the 2 minute, as it is a scalping strategy. So let's try the lower time frames very quickly. That's 40% on the 5 minute. Go to the 2 minute. Trying to give this thing its benefit of the doubt before giving up on it, I guess. 35% on the 2 minute. Let's go over to the Euro USD to see if that would make any difference, see if it's better on Forex. And that has actually found 0 results. Maybe if I put it into a pips situation, maybe that would work. If I use pips instead, stop loss pips, 10 pips, as it's a. Okay, having a look now at Euro USD. As you can see, it's even worse, 11% win rate. So it certainly wouldn't be something. 16% win rate if I actually exit on the orange line. We've lost a hell of a lot of money. So profit factor is 0.1 at that point, which is absolutely terrible. So no, it certainly would not be a trading strategy that I would trade myself. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and you found some information interesting. If you did and you feel as though that the myth busting series is worth your time and hopefully will save you some money and time, if you don't mind just giving a good old thumbs up to the video, it really helps me to expand and grow the community. You're also very welcome to come and join us in Discord and Telegram. The links are down in the description. You can also add all of my trading strategies to your trading view. The links to Patreon are down in the description as well. Without further ado, I'm going to leave you. Take care, keep safe, keep coding, and I'll see you on Monday. Trade like a boss. Goodbye.